Trump embarks on high-stakes Gulf tour to strengthen U.S. business and strategic ties. President Donald Trump is embarking on a pivotal tour of the Persian Gulf region this week, aiming to secure strategic partnerships and landmark business deals with Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, UAE, and Qatar. This marks his first major foreign visit of his new term during heightened regional instability. While the official agenda centers around economic cooperation, the geopolitical backdrop includes ongoing nuclear negotiations with Iran and conflict between Israel and Hamas in Gaza. Economic diplomacy with a strategic edge. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt emphasized that the mission reflects Trump's broader strategy. Extremism is defeated through commerce and cultural exchanges. Trump's approach contrasts with the previous administration's policies, which often strained ties with key Gulf states. Under President Joe Biden, U.S. relations with countries like Saudi Arabia cooled, particularly after Biden labeled Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman a pariah over the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Trump has reversed course, pursuing a transactional diplomacy that has reinvigorated ties with regional powers. The United States is reminding our Middle East allies that we're here to stay, said Greg Roman, the Middle East Forum Executive Director. We're here to promote joint interests, not to retreat. Massive investments on the table. According to Trump, Saudi Arabia has already pledged up to $600 billion in investments across sectors including weapons, artificial intelligence, and financial markets, with expectations that this could rise to $1 trillion. These deals are key to Riyadh's plan to diversify its oil-reliant economy. We're talking about possibly 2 million U.S. jobs resulting from this visit, Trump said during a meeting with bin Salman. Our business leaders are walking away with contracts and commitments that benefit both countries. Trump and bin Salman are also set to explore civil nuclear cooperation and expanded defense ties. However, any normalization between Saudi Arabia and Israel appears unlikely without progress on Palestinian statehood, a stance Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu opposes. Israeli normalization is no longer a prerequisite, said Saudi analyst Salman al-Ansari, noting the second Trump administration is pushing a more independent Middle East strategy. UAE doubles down on U.S. alliance. The UAE is taking even bolder steps, committing to $1.4 trillion in investments over the next decade. These will focus on AI, semiconductor manufacturing, energy, and defense. Areas where U.S. partnerships are critical to the UAE's 2030 vision to become a global AI leader. To support this collaboration, Trump has rescinded Biden-era restrictions on exporting high-end AI and chip technologies to the region, previously tightened to prevent Chinese influence. Qatar offers royal welcome. Qatar is sparing no effort in hosting Trump. Emir Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani has offered the use of a Boeing 747-8, normally reserved for Qatari royalty, to serve as a temporary Air Force One during Trump's visit. Since being named a major non-NATO ally in 2022, Qatar has played a growing role in U.S. strategy, hosting troops at Al Udeid Air Base and mediating negotiations between Israel and Hamas. Trump praised the release of Israeli-American hostage Eden Alexander by Hamas ahead of the trip as a monumental step toward ending the Gaza conflict. Qatar also maintains ties with Syria's new president, Ahmed al-Sharai, following the ouster of Bashar al-Assad. The U.S. and Gulf leaders are expected to discuss potential sanctions relief and normalization with Syria as part of wider regional talks. Visit schedule: 3 days, 3 power centers. Tuesday, Trump begins his visit in Riyadh, headlining the U.S.-Saudi Investment Forum with Crown Prince bin Salman, U.S. crypto czar David Sachs, and major business leaders. Wednesday, he joins a Gulf Cooperation Council meeting before flying to Qatar to talk with Emir Al Thani and visit Al Udeid Air Base. Thursday, Trump concludes his trip to Abu Dhabi with bilateral meetings with UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Iran eyes the visit cautiously. Amid stalled nuclear talks in Oman, Iran is closely monitoring Trump's Gulf tour. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi made surprise visits to Saudi Arabia and Qatar before Trump's arrival, likely to send indirect messages to Washington via regional allies. The region needs to directly confront the threat of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, said regional analyst Jonathan Bass. They're trying to undermine every single country in the region. A bold diplomatic reset. Trump's Gulf visit signals a major reset of U.S. policy in the Middle East, prioritizing commerce, defense, and regional partnerships, while pulling back from conditional diplomacy.